Hello everyone, welcome to Analytic Solutions channel. In this tips and tricks video, we'll see how we can work on FSO object text files. First we'll understand what all functions are available and then we'll see how to use these functions in Excel VB. The text file functions what we have is create text file, which will help us in creating a text file, and we have more other properties related to this create text file function. Next one is open text file. This used to open a text file and read the contents in the text file. Right. Now we'll see how we can use these two functions on this text stream or a text file and work on a text file. Let's open our Excel file. Alt F11. We'll go to this editor. We have few examples here for create text file and also how to open a text file and read the content in the text file. First we'll see how we can use this create text file function. We have an object, say the data type called as text stream, which is used for creating a text file. Right click, insert a module, sub FSO objects, say create text file. We'll declare one variable for FSO as new file system object, then say dim obj text file as text string. We'll also take a path for which we'll be creating the text file. Say dim str path as string. Let's take the path. Str path equals this workbook.path and we'll take the folder IPAS. Put a slash here and a slash here. Right, we have the path. Let's go and check the path here. So here I have this IPS. We'll try to create one text file. Right, say set obj text file equals fso dot create text file. This is the function what we have to use. Create text file, open the bracket. It asks for the file name. So we'll mention str path ampersand. We can give a text file name. We'll say new text file dot txt and close the bracket. Now here this will create a new text file. Suppose if you want to add some content, so if you want to add some contents to this, we'll go and we'll mention obj text file dot. Here I have so many properties and methods wherein we can use this. So here I have something called as a write, which will help us in writing some contents in that. Or we have this write blank lines, that is it will give a enter mark or say a blank line, or I can use this write line, which will help us in creating a line. Let's go and see what all other properties we have. See a write line, we can have a line here, that is whatever text you want you can give, and blank lines you can specify how many blank lines I need, say 1 2 3 or any number of blank lines we can specify. Then we have this write line, again we can mention. So this will give me a blank lines and then it will enter some data in that. Right, we'll go and we'll check this. Say obj text file dot write line, and then we can give any text. Say this is the first line, enter. Obj text file dot write blank lines, it will specify the number of lines. So you can specify how many blank lines I need. I'll say 2 or 3 or whatever. The next obj text file dot write line, and then we'll say this is the second line. Right. So this will give me the number of lines or whatever text we want to enter. Then next we have the close option where I can close the text file what we have created here. Let's go here. Let's say obj text file dot close. Let's run this. Now I'll go and check in the folder. See, a new text file has been created. If I open this, see, this is the first line what we created, then two blank lines are there, and then we have this second line. Right, this is for write line. We have one more property, that is write. So this will actually create a file like this, and if I say the object dot write, it will be writing the contents in the same line. Let's take the same example. Just copy this, paste it here. We'll say new file 2. We'll create one more file. But this time, instead of mentioning it as a write line, I'll say dot write. We'll give this as write. Just change the program name. Say write, and here we'll say write. It will ask for the text. Say this is the first line. Let's not take this blank lines now. I'll just again mention it as dot write, and then I'll say this is the second line. I'm just mentioning two different text here, that is two different text line here. Now if you run this, a new file is created, but this will not be in the next line, so it will continue with the same line. Say run this. Now I created one more text file. You can see this, it is continuing. So if you go to this code and check, write line will actually write the contents what we have mentioned, but this will be going in the next line. But if I say write, it will keep continuing with the same line. This is for creating a text file. Suppose we already have a text file. Let's assume that I have a text file here which I've already taken. Say it is a sample file. Then the file name is sample file where I have some contents. So when I'm actually already having a file and I want to add some content or replace some contents, I can use open text file function. Let's go and see how to use this open text file function. Say sub FSO objects, say open text file. So this will help us in opening a text file and we can edit it. So it can be appending a data, or I can only read the data, or I can overwrite the contents of the file. So dim FSO as a new file system object, dim str path as string. So I'm just taking a path as well. Say str path equals this workbook dot path ampersand. Say ITAS. I'll take the path. Let's open the file. So here I'll say we'll take one more object, text file as text stream. Right. So we'll assign value for this equals FSO dot. Now we'll say open text file. The previous example we had created a text file. Now we are trying to open a text file. So in this we'll mention this path. Also we have to mention the file name, which is sample.txt. But here there are three options what we can give, that is whether we want to overwrite the contents or read the contents or append the contents. When I say comma, here I'll get those three options. Let's say I want to just read the contents. That's it. Select this for reading. Now we'll say obj text file dot just say read. When I say read, it asks the number of characters to read. I'll say I want to read first 100 characters. Here we mention message box. Say first 100 characters. If I run this, see, it will read the first 100 characters in the text file what we have mentioned. Alright. Next, we also have say message box obj text file dot read. Say read all. Now let me just comment on this. Now when I say read all, it will read the entire content in the text file what we have mentioned. Run this. See, it will read the entire contents. Right. We also have something called as read line. Message box obj text file dot read line. Now when I say read line, it will read the complete line. So in this case, it will read the first line. Let's run this. It is reading the first line. Suppose if I mention this again, say for example, I'll go here, I'll mention this again. Now it will read the second line. So how this actually happens, how this actually read the line is, this will check the cursor in the text file. Say for example, we'll go here, I'll just enable this. It says read 100. That means it'll read the first 100 characters. Let's say F8. When I say F8, it is taking the first 100 characters. That means the cursor is still in the first line. Now when I run this, it will give me the rest of the characters in the first line. Next, it will go to the next line. See, suppose if you go and check this, let's open the sample file. Here, this is the first line, this is second line. The first time when I use that read 100, so it is reading somewhere till these 100 characters, and when I say read line, it is reading the entire contents, that is leftover contents in that line. So the second time when I'm using that read line, it is giving me the second line. So this is for reading the contents when I'm using this for reading. Right, let's see how this append will work. Let me close this file. I just close this file. Let's copy the same program and we'll change this to appending. Let me remove this, and here we'll say for appending. Appending means you're trying to write a contents to the existing text file what we have mentioned, but this will append, it will not overwrite anything. Let's go here, say obj text file dot. Now I can use this write blank lines, whatever I'll say, write blank lines. It lasts for the number of lines. Let's say I want 5 blank lines. Obj text file dot write line. This is to append the content. Let's execute this. This is for appending now. Let me run this. Now let's open that sample file. I have this 5 blank lines, and then here I'm appending the content. I can take the content from Excel file also, that is from the different cell or contents in the cell, and I can also append it. This is for appending. Now let's take the same program and we'll see how we can overwrite the contents of the existing text file. Let me just remove this. I'll say for write. When I use this for writing, this will overwrite the contents. Let's say obj text file dot write, or say write line, write blanks, whatever. Let's say write, say this statement will overwrite the contents. Obj text file dot write blank lines. Let's say I want two blank lines. Then I'll use this obj text file dot write line. Say this is a new line. Let me execute this. I'm trying to overwrite the contents of the existing sample text file. Run this. Let's open this sample file. You can see the file, whatever we had the contents, the entire contents have been replaced. So this is how I can use the text stream object with this create and open text file function with FSO objects. In the next chapter, we'll see some examples of this file system objects. Hope you like this video. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to our channel. And thank you so much for watching this video.